Okay, so let me run you through the craziest day of my entire life. This was a very important day, and tell me why I recorded every single clip in slow motion. I had no idea it was in slow motion until I went to go send all of my clips to my video editor, and I was pissed. So fair warning, some of these clips might be a little weird, but bear with me. I have some exciting news. I am working on something top secret and so special, and it is going to benefit so many people in the cancer community. As I've been battling breast cancer for the last year and a half, I've seen so many gaps that are needed for patient care, for support, for all of the things. And so I've decided to create a specific type of sweatshirt for cancer patients. So I have a friend in Los Angeles who is a designer, and she connected me with some manufacturers here in Los Angeles. She designed the product for me, but I needed to find the manufacturer who could create the perfect sweatshirt for my cancer people. I was connected to Yvonne, who you can see in these videos, and after speaking to him, he suggested that we go to Magic in Vegas the following week because that is where we can meet manufacturers based out of China. Creating products in Los Angeles is honestly ideal, but with what I want to do, I want to keep the cost as low as possible. So to Vegas, we went. But let me tell you, getting to Vegas was not easy. When I looked at my schedule, I was like, shit, I have chemo the week of this conference. How am I going to make this work? I couldn't officially commit to anything until the night before. I booked my ticket. My flight left at 6 a.m. and we landed in Vegas. It was the last day of the show and we spent all day meeting manufacturers. And honestly, it was so successful. And I was so happy Yvonne was there to guide me through the entire process because I really learned so much about fabrics and manufacturing and all of the things. I used to have an online boutique, but this is completely different. So when the show was over, we really wanted to celebrate. His flight was later that night at around 6:30 and mine wasn't until 11 p.m. I was like, great, I'm going to have to walk the strip by myself, be alone, which I'm totally fine with, but in Vegas, it feels a little bit weird. So then this is when things got a little twisted, okay? You could see him having the time of his life because he actually changed his flight into about 9:30. We had a couple drinks at the bar, and after not eating very much during the day, he ended up getting real twisted. We went for dinner. I was starving. I wolfed down so much food and he refused to eat because he said the quality was not there. And so thus he kept drinking. I wanted to hit a little gambling just for funsies. And of course I lost $100 in literally 5.2 seconds. And we decided to just continue down the strip and have a merry little time. Well, listen here, kids, let me tell you, not eating and drinking is the worst combo you can do, especially after walking thousands of miles all day. So we're getting close to the time of his flight and I knew it was time to drop him off at the airport. But when we got in the Uber, he did not know where he was. He didn't understand that he was going to the airport and had to fly home. I was so worried that he was going to get arrested, and so I wanted to walk him to his gate. After going over and over again where his gate was, I let him free. I watched him walk to the gate, turn around, and walk all the way back to the entrance. He said he was too drunk to get on this flight, so I was like, okay, we'll book you a hotel and you will stay the night and you will fly out tomorrow. We get to the hotel and I'm asking security to walk him up, and we were waiting. They never freaking came, and it was time for me to catch my flight, and I was not going to be staying the night in Vegas. I sadly had to leave him, but as I got to the airport, I called the hotel to make sure that security had walked him up to his room, and they confirmed that they had. I was definitely a little tipsy, but when I got on the flight, I realized they had booked me into an emergency exit row, and I was fully not capable or in the place to be saving people's lives. I got home at around 1 a.m. I went to sleep, and I woke up the next day, and I was just so grateful for the experience, but I was a little bit worried about Yvonne. I called him, and he said he was in Dallas. He had left the hotel because security never came. He stayed the night in the airport and flew out that morning. This was an unforgettable trip, and I can't wait for these sweatshirts to come to life so I can share my top secret with y'all.